All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope this mic is working. Looks like it's working. It's been a long time. Oh boy, over 6 months probably since I streamed last. All right. Oh, few problems there. That took a good 20 minutes just to get my system to connect, and then my intro movie doesn't play anymore. Oh well, we're here. We're live. Make sure I can see the chat, like anybody's going to be here. Pop it out. Oh, this is complicated. There we go. But at least I can see it now. I probably won't hear it. We'll see what happens. Nothing seems to be working right. Reset these cameras 4 or 5 times. Hopefully you can hear me. I just want to take this time to finish up this Fokoos. Long story long. This was a mistake. This was a real big mistake. History on this printer. This was given to me by my old boss at my last job that just took the last year and a half of my life while I haven't been streaming, which was kind of surprising for a part-time job. Imagine that. And he got into 3D printing through me, and they had got a toy box. That was her first printer, the toy box for his son, and they were looking to upgrade. And at the time, Loyal Moses had just started, and he recommended the Fokoos. Not knocking Loyal. It was a new brand at the time. It seemed like a good printer. I know the first one they got immediately had a problem, and Amazon shipped them a new one. They bought it directly through Amazon, so after that, it worked fine for probably right about a year. Right about a year. Then I believe it was having an issue detecting sensors. Heat bed was not warming up. Pretty much was just pretty useless. And you couldn't bypass the heat bed, so it was just like, well, we're done. I had a couple of options. So he was just done with it. He got a free Ender 3. Moved on to it, gave it to me, and I thought, oh, this will be an easy, fun little project. We'll just see what's wrong with it, fix it. Should be pretty easy. It was not easy. It was not easy. This has been one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Um, Not specifically against Fokoos, the way that it was designed, just the endless cul-de-sacs I kept running into. I guess that's the only way to put it. Sure looked like a nice neighborhood. Um, so the first problem found out after doing some tests. You can go back and look at the other horrible live streams on that. Of course, we're talking about this guy right here. I guess I should go sideways. See what I'm talking about. There he is. We'll go to the double camera. How about that? There we go. That's a little better. Now it's not just disembodied voice floating up here. Uh, so determined, yeah, it was the MOSFET. The MOSFET was bad. I looked into what I could do to work around that. First, I bought a replacement MOSFET, but my soldering iron, even though I have a Weller WSD51 decent soldering iron, it just couldn't do it. Surface mounted components. There's too much of a ground plane on it. I just could not get it hot enough. Oh joy, I have keyframe problems. But are we still streaming? It says we're still streaming. Although I am dropping 13% of my frames. And we have encoding lag. We're gonna go with it. Sorry. I just want to get this done. This computer. Gotta love it. So that did not work. So then I looked at to maybe I can bypass the MOSFET and just throw an external module. I had a couple of those. I looked into it. The pads were accessible, but I was like, yeah, it's just messy. Then I have to mount it inside there somewhere. It's just not gonna be worth it. That's just not a clean fix. I don't like it. Wow, my frames per second, up and down, up and down, up and down. And this is an upgraded video card. This video card, since the last stream, is twice as powerful. I had no problems before. Streaming. So, yeah, we're just going to go with it. So I was like, well, let's just get a replacement board. I looked online. I found one at AliExpress, the exact same board. An MKS Robin Nano 1.4, I believe. Let's look at it. It's still open. Yeah. Nano 1.4. I can't read. I can't read it. Don't care. If it's any other videos, it's in the description somewhere. Got the board. It's like, hey, 20 bucks fix. Dropped it in there. Went to plug everything in. Then I realized it didn't have any stepper drivers. Of course, it didn't come with stepper drivers. Well, let me pull them from the old board. Went to pull them from the old board and realized there's no sockets. They're hard soldered in. They literally removed the sockets. It seems like it was much more work than it was worth. And had these extremely long legs with the stepper drivers sitting at the same height they would be as if you had sockets. But just floating. Just floating. So, yeah. So, then I had to order stepper drivers. So, I put stepper drivers in there. That got us to there. Got to reuse the same display. Could have bought this all as a newer version board with a newer display. I just didn't want to deal with maybe the mounting holes weren't going to line up, or I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it'd be easy. Obviously, I'm not that smart. Learn something from his kids. So got it in, and I mean, obviously, there's some kinds of issues with this. If you see the way this little fan is mounted right here, I mean, it obviously needs it, but there's definitely some airflow issues. If that had to be put in there, seems like an afterthought. It's in. Now it's time for firmware. What are we going to do? Oh, okay. Well, the other board only had a single X stepper driver, and it was split on the board. So then I had to figure out what was I going to do. So to get it working, oh, I don't even know where it is now. I swore I had it right here. Nope, there we go. We used one of those. If anybody's ever had to use one of the little stepper splitters. And we installed the firmware. Firm versions we found, I believe, on the Fokoos GitHub, and somebody else's project. And I apologize, I'm going to engage in my bad habit of nicotine because this has been a really stressful, long project, and I'm getting it out. And my computer's crashing. Love it. That was a whole nother adventure. I would estimate I've probably spent a good 2 months of time of just nights of installing firmware, different versions of firmware that I downloaded, downloading the source code version from their website that was for that current, compiling, downloading current versions of Marlin, compiling, going round and round and round. And then there was this weird issue of sometimes it would boot up, I'd throw the SD card in there, and it would say, hey, there's new firmware, let's install it. And then exact same process, nope, gone, just refused. It's there. I know someone say, no, it just, it's renamed at firmware.cur. No, cleaned it out, reformatted, copied the firmware back over, recompiled the firmware, throw it on there, throw it in there, detects it, reboot again, do the same whole exact same process again. Doesn't see it. Cannot figure out rhyme or reason, anything, except for eventually I did have to get another SD card. I paid out the butt for an 8 gig SD card because, yeah, You go try finding a 1 or 2 gig SD card on Amazon nowadays, and good luck with that. Um, Other SD cards that I had that were obviously larger, even tried repartitioning. No, no, it's doing raw reads. Some of these does not like that. Uh, that was the issue with seeing the firmware. Once I got a new SD card, it's just like with a Raspberry Pi and USB cables. Once you try the 40-second one, it's going to work, and it worked. And I got the firmware on there, and then I had a new problem. Uh, screen was corrupted. I could see it had loaded the graphics. You can see it when it's updating the firmware. If you've ever updated one of these, you can see it actually updating the graphics and the firmware for it. And the colors would be inverted. Some of the icons would be there. It was just broken. So here we go, back to YouTube. Back to every forum we can find. Follow everyone's instructions. Just go down and down and down and down the path for weeks, just to find out that no, those methods don't work anymore. That's probably you're going to see this across anything working with microcontrollers, Raspberry Pi, not even just microcontrollers, Dockers, Kubernetes, any containers, even though they're not supposed to. You will run into Arduinos, any microcontroller, ESPs. You're going to find projects and libraries and websites that say just download this, install it, and it worked. And you know what? It probably did a year ago, or even 6 months, or maybe even a month ago. But there have been library updates. There have been changes. Something has changed. You will find that one library will not work with another library. Then you have to start backpedaling, going to older versions, and it just becomes such a headache that, yeah, it was a headache. Yeah, less hair over this. There was some crying. I ain't gonna lie. So then we find out that all those processes that we've been going down are pointless, and we have just wasted so much time. Then we discover the right process, which was the easiest, back to the original of you throw the firmware on there and you don't have to do this whole separate step of updating the screen firmware and all this, because, you know, things have changed and it's gotten better. And it worked. I got the base config working, and then I started adding the options back in, you know, that we all want. We want these guys to do the most they can. Nerd in us, just, we like that. So we got it. But we ran into one problem that we can't get past. Now I say that it's probably been a good 2 months since I've looked into this issue. There is an issue with the graphics library, which I don't remember specifically which library this uses. Off the top of my head, I want to say the LVGL, but I do not believe it is, just because I'm working on that on another project. Everything works until we enable the filament runout sensor. As soon as we enable the option for the filament runout sensor and try to compile Marlin, it will not compile. Yeah, I've gone through every forum. I've used every AI engine that I could use. Yeah, it just not gonna happen. So here it is. What did I learn? What can you learn out of this? Don't. Many times when we start on these projects as geeks and nerds and just weirdos that we are, in our head, it's going to be so simple. Or we'll look at somebody else who's done something along these lines and we're like, oh, okay, you know, that's a couple hours, couple of days. I can't even not add up the amount of time I've put into this one printer that isn't even worth it, just to say I've done it. And at this point, I still don't feel like I accomplished my goal. I mean, I lost a filament runout sensor. How many times in my printing has that affected me? Once, twice. Not enough for it to be a feature that I'm concerned about, but it still hurts. It hurts my pride a little. So we're gonna put this guy back together, and we're gonna do one print, and then I may just take it right out on my patio because I'm 8 stories up, and just drop it right in the dumpster that's below us. If we do, we'll get that on camera, I promise. And I apologize, I'm looking off over here. We have new monitor set up. I'm slightly offset to my camera. Obviously, new backdrop. Some new lighting that's too bright, and my head's all glary. But yeah, so my screen's over here and here and here, and everything's half working, including the stream. Getting render lag. Yeah, joy. So we're gonna put it back together. It's there. I've done, I believe, 1 test print on this guy so far, and that's it. This filament has literally been sitting out, this SPLA, which is almost nothing left, for a good 6 months. It just sitting here. I've had that little time. So I believe we still have some G-codes. I got a test cube on here that wasn't even sliced for a correct profile. I believe it was done for Ender 3. But we're going to throw the bottom back on it and turn it on, do one print, and then we're done. And I'm moving on to another project. It's probably going to be just as bad. So let's go over desk cam. Probably this is all pointless. We're going to lay it on its side. Actually, we'll do the doubles. There we go. Trying to make this not fall off the desk, not break the filament. One of the advantages, since we did go to a double Z over the single Z, is we can do the leveling. I honestly, I don't even remember if I've tried that feature. Yeah. So we did also add the wireless module. I believe that is already on the Wi-Fi. We'll find out. Well, let's see. Let's go this way with it. Does that line up? That does line up. All right. Let's get one screw in here just to hold this in place. Hope my new microphone placement's working. Trying to get things out of the way. And our new nice screwdrivers in the other room on another project. We're going to do the old school way. So they are right here. Oh no. Oh, we'll throw it back out. No. Is that it? Not it. Yeah, I know. I did just get a very nice screwdriver set with a ton of bits and ratcheting. It's just in the other room. All right, so our 2 screws. Let's throw this in. This is when we plug it in, turn it on, find out if it does not work. Not reaching. What's going on? No, we're the wrong Allen. Too big. Yeah. There we go. What a mistake. What this was, yeah, it was just a mistake. I feel bad for one. He had to deal with the issues, him and his son. Once they did get the replacement one, it printed fine for a long time, and it got them to where they needed to go. Just the fact that there were issues straight out of the box is kind of concerning. I think maybe this explains why we're not seeing these printers anymore. that in there. Almost there. Almost there. Yeah, this thing took way too much of my life. Way too much of my life. That one. Now, it is a direct drive. It is the only direct drive printer I still have left. Odin. All right. Get out there. Throw this over there. Let's turn it on. See what happens. See if this filament's gonna just snap when that's into the print. Right. Let's go there. Let's flip this around. That's a little easier to deal with. Ooh. Power switch is on. We got a beep. Maker base. There you go. As you can see, we have the menu. It is the newer style menu. And then the colors and the icons. There were a couple of options, but let's see. Let's moment. Make sure we didn't knock anything loose. Something I did run into several times is I'd get this working and then it'd throw a random error. This cable right here likes to come loose. Likes to come loose right in there. It likes to come loose right in here on the side. That's the tricky one because you can't see it. And there's no clip on this side one that I could find to hold the cable in. I don't know if it was broken or what, but yeah. So, all right, it homed. Let's see. So much glare. Let's go back. Let's preheat it just to make sure it actually works. Heat bed. Whoop, don't need 90 degrees. We'll just go up to 70. Extrusion. Well, and we have a problem. And there we go. It's going to Fokoos in the butt again. So what failed? There's our problem right in. Hot end temperature. There we go. And as you can see, now I have a temperature again. All from this cable. So what happens when that pops loose? Go back to preheat. Let's just try extruder. Take it up to 80. I'm just doing a test right now. Take that to 70, the heat bed. Let's go back. Let's clean this a little. Not really helping. I'm helping you. All right, where there is a info screen. Okay, it's we did do the leveling. Let's do leveling. Oh, it's just in the manual. Yeah. I haven't touched anything. Let's live dangerously. Let's see what happens. We have more G code. You can raw G code. It's under filament. You can load, unload. Go back in here. Settings. EEPROM set. The fans. Motors off. Config. Oh, let's see what we got under config. Basic machine settings. Acceleration. Max speed. Haven't touched any of that. Let's see what's under leveling settings. Coordinates and the auto leveling commands. Haven't touched any of that. Advance. Printing pause. Filament. Wi-Fi settings. Let's see what we got. Wi-Fi mode, style, Wi-Fi name, edit, password, do use cloud. All right, let's go back. Give away my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi. Well, let's go back here. I'm going to click on the Wi-Fi. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah. We're connected. We're connected to my home network. I can see my IP address. So the Wi-Fi is working. I have not set it up in Cura or anything like that yet. Haven't even tested it. In fact, I wonder. We have this little card here. Let's throw it in there, see what we got. Sorry to put my ugly elbow in there. Oh. Be delicate with that SD slot. Click on printing. Hey! IS Pet and Calibrat. No idea what they are. Let's click on it. Apprentice model. Calibration cube. That sounds good. Let's send it. Confirm. I don't know. I'm assuming you could probably get a model preview on this, like in Clipper. Will I Clipperize this? Ah, jeez, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess I should. I really don't wanna. Alright, it looks like my lag is cleaned up a little better. We're only using 18% CPU. We're getting a solid 30 frames per second. We'll just have to drop the quality a bit. Let's see, we're at 110 of 215 and 66 of 65. It's heating pretty quick. Yep, definitely getting hot. Yes, we're just going to print this cube, and then we're done with this printer. And then we can go on to our next couple of projects, which have also been on hold for the last year for a part-time job. Remember, kids, when you're good at your job, it's all they're gonna let you do. That's all they're gonna let you do. That's it. Got a little bit of a burny smell. I smell some burning plastic. I see some ooze. All right, we got our ooze. This thing still has a fancy little label on it. I mean, I do like, I have to say, I do like the build quality. The metal base, the frame, everything about that is fine. I can't say anything about the motors. They just look like generic motors. Yeah, I mean, they're not LDO or anything like that. It is literally a lowest common denominator generic printer. But will it print? A little close. Right here, extruder extruder skipping. It is printing. We are close. We should have leveled a bit. That's a way of micro step. We got options to micro step. Haven't done this in a while. Maybe. Oh, and it just came off the print red. Let's kill it. Stop the print. Confirm. All right. Bam. Get our magic goop. Get our old school sheet of paper. Just one. Here's how we used to do this back in the days, kids. All right. Just going to do the edges, not really concerned about the center. Let's go back to settings. No. Tools. So confusing. Let's home it. Home all. Okay. The other, real disadvantage into like, as much as I like this flat ribbon cable, if I wanted to upgrade, it just kind of, where do I put the cable? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't zip tie it to this one. Yeah. Unless I get another flat cable, but yeah, just a problem. Okay, leveling. Yeah. Nope. I know we should be hot, but we're just gonna go for it. Here's 0.1. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's tight. Look at that. That's way high. Right, we're gonna go to 0.2. That one not as bad. 0.3. Just gonna do a little at a time on each corner because it's just pointless to knock one down all the way. 0.4. Like a little further out, but it's close enough. Tight. Hurts a little. Barely catching. Let's go back to 1. If this is anything, it's going to be a little high probably this next time. There we go. Boy, the days doing this. This is what we used to have to do, you kids out there, every single print. Every single time you printed. Especially because no one had figured that out yet. We didn't have removable build plates. Every single time you touched that printer, you ended up having to, that's good enough. Re-level the bed. Try and get some of this residue off. I haven't used the scraper in a while. I almost just pulled that out of here. Just because I was like, I don't need that ever. Let's just throw some magic goo on it. And let's end it. Calibration cube. Let's go. Let's see what happens. I hope the stream still isn't dropping too bad. It is still skipping some encoding frames. So bizarre. We literally just went from GTX 960, whole GTX 960, to a 1650. With more RAM and double the performance, and now we're getting skip frames. Lovely. We just can't win. Excuse me. Oh. It's not contagious. It's contagious. It's really contagious. Got it back on the shelf. Where are we at? Oh, it's heating up separately this time. That's an option we should have changed in the firmware. Actually, no. I take that back because I saw how small that power supply was. And I did not even pay attention if this was a 12 or 24 volt. But either way, that's a pretty puny power supply. Oh, look at that. We fixed all of our encoding frames. Now the network is dropping. It's just lose-lose. That's okay. The rest of this rest of the stream is literally just watching this guy hopefully not fail for no other reason than just to say we did it, and then we throw it back on the shelf. We're out the window. And there's a window. Right there. Right there. I could get it on camera. Window. Well, fortunately, yeah, that dumpster isn't under that window. That would suck. Where are we at? It is, 1 degree away. There we go. Always, they just wait for you to look at them. The best part about this camera view is you don't have to see me, because that ain't pretty. Oh, there we go. That is looking much better. Let's get in there. And it prints. And I know it's hard to see from that angle, but that is a look damn perfect first layer. I just cursed myself because it hasn't even finished it, but all right. Fans are kicking in. That's a good sign. Layer 2. It prints. So dirty. I wish we had some background music. But as I've just recently learned, kill that. Stream Beats is no longer free. So I bet once I hit monetization on this channel, if I ever do, I immediately lose like half my videos. or they're going to force me to pay $5 a month for a subscription. I don't want to. Yeah, I should have rebooted my router before it dropped into the stream. Well, it's printing. Now, since you can still get these guys, I'll just talk to myself here. You can still find these used online. Would I recommend getting one? Not at all. The fact that parts that you're going to need, uh, this issue with this cable, you really can't upgrade it. I mean, this is what it is. I mean, you can get them cheap, and they will print. I wouldn't want to put someone through this, even as a gift. I know Christmas is coming up, and if there's still any of these out there, I wouldn't do that to somebody. Um, there's nothing like getting a tool that you think is going to solve your problems and let you accomplish something to find out this tool is just not going to do it. I've been burned many times on tools, crimpers, crimpers, cable strippers, pliers, sockets, screwdrivers, bits, soldering irons. You just cannot cheap out. The more you spend, the more you're going to be rewarded with results and time savings in the long run. So just be nice to yourself and spend a little extra money. Would I take one of these if it was free? Well, I did. And I regret it. So no, I wouldn't even take one of these free. I would much rather have an original Ender 3 V1 with its old school screen and single Z motor and just completely outdated by today's standards than one of these, even free. That's an old printer, but they still print, and they work, and they're solid. Whether however you feel about Creality, I wasn't a fan of them in the beginning, but they've come a long, long way. And I have an Ender 5 and two Ender 3 V2s that, of course, I've modified, but they were solid as they were in the beginning. So, for what I paid for, which was about $80 a piece used, each one had pretty much the only real problems. Like, one had a burned out stepper motor driver that I replaced. Eventually, actually, we upgraded the board and everything. And the other one was just misaligned so bad in how it was put together. Seems to be a common thing on these. You think you can just put the screws in, it'll work. They've designed it. They manufactured it right. No. Of course, I can't even say manufactured it right. Someone clips that. I didn't think the first time I built a printer that I needed a square to put it together. And the first printer I built, well, it's now a whole new printer, but you can kind of see back there in the corner that really thin 2020 Tron XY, which was my second printer, which was a huge upgrade from my first one, which was made out of acrylic, which was chunky as well. But still, we weren't there yet. Oh, we've just had a huge issue. Do y'all see it? I see it. I see it. Wow. Okay. Looks like we're going to start over. Figure out what is going on. I do that. I'll pull this off quick. Resend it. Is anything loose? I think it's tight. Missing anything? This thing is cooking awesome. all burnt on filament. Well, that's it. That skipped a few steps. It didn't come loose from the print bed, but that's a huge shift. See what I'm saying? Was printing fine. What happened? And it's on the y-axis. That doesn't have a fancy cable. That just has an old school cable, and the motor is inside, so I can't even check it. We've never even touched that cable. Is there anything wrong with the belt? Let's adjust the tension on that belt. I'm not super happy with it. Something we have not touched. Oh, there we go. That's a little tauter. Look down. Try to keep my glary head out of the camera to see if you're seeing anything in there. No, don't eat me. Okay. Belt doesn't look to have any issues. Sprocket's not spinning on it or anything. Doesn't look like it came loose inside. It's tight everywhere. Well, let's just go see what happens. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's just disappointing. That's a huge shift. If I did that and y'all happen to see that, let me know. Because that was a huge shift. See if it happens again at the exact same point. Roughly 20% in. What a fun way to spend Wednesday night. Definitely not fast by today's standards. The first layer looks perfect. Second layer looks absolutely perfect. I will say, those first two layers actually look better than all my other printers. One of them has glass? Yeah, one of them does have the belt rivet ender. Does have belt, but it still doesn't look that good. I believe that has something to do with this high flow nozzle, volcano style. I'm assuming, because my old boss that I got this from, he printed TPU at one point. And, I'm assuming it was on this printer since it is direct drive. That made him super giddy. Besides the fans, as you can hear, it's relatively quiet printer, I guess. I don't know if I have noise reduction on. I must. Yep, I have noise reduction on because it disappears. Calm the desk a little. Insert Jeopardy theme. Do 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 do. Maybe we'll just do some printing zen. Sit here and just meditate on the flow. Be one with the flow. One with the flow. Um, um, be one with the flow. Surprises me most about the losing that many steps on the y-axis is I've lost a few before. Heavy print gets bumped something, but never that much. Generally, if I do have problems with losing steps, it's going to be on my x-axis. It tends to be where I have the issues. So, and I don't know. I did not check tension of these wheels. Maybe I did that previously. You would have to tell me. 19%, we're right around the time. Let's see what happens. Shaking the hell out of my desk. Alright, 22. Looks like we passed it. Since last time this actually failed in this direction. It's a little harder for y'all, but I can see it. I can see some banding. And honestly, the other thing we did not even touch is tensioning the X belt. So, it is what it is. I really can't see going through the trouble on this printer to put an accelerometer on it, get some setting or some readings off of it. I have one set up just for that. I just don't see that it would be useful enough on this printer. I can't imagine ever using this thing to print fast enough that I would care. The banding that I can see now, yeah, I don't really care. Alright, well, that's a good sign. We have made it past last failure. 36%. Next couple of projects should be a little more fun. I say that as well. I've already spent about a week working on one and just keep running into walls. Same situation of pay nice or pay twice. When it comes to tools, another thing that it comes down to will be things like this. Arduino shields. All these, pretty much useless. Why'd I get them? They were half the cost of the official, like, Adafruit ones. And what did I get for that? Weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of recompiling things to eventually just be like, this is just never going to do what I wanted it to do. So, yeah. Same issue. I have an ESP32 with a touchscreen on it and some interfaces. That should have been maybe a 2-day project at the most. A couple 6-7 hours each day. And yeah, I made zero progress, only to find out the model that I have bought is a knockoff. And yeah, it's wired completely different from any of the official pinouts or schematics or anything like that. So short of me going one by one down every trace on this thing, it's pretty useless. I should have paid an official price for the real one, and I would have been fine. Or this, I'll tell you, this is what happens when you get into 3D printing and electronics. All these are parts. Hold on, there are parts. You can't see all behind here are parts. And over on this wall, more parts. 3D printing, it's a fun, cheap hobby. Yeah, anything but. Anything but. $63%. Right, really interesting. They use the not the Google G. $67. Definitely not the fastest. I am seeing some hairs and some errors on the infill. But then again, also that nozzle is the original nozzle. That's probably the nozzle that came with the printer. Uh, yeah, I don't think I have any of these volcano style nozzles. I'll have to get some. Or not. How about or not? Yeah, that's the correct answer. 72. Let's get rid of this guy. We know. Looks like it's going to make it as soon as I get rid of it. It was intimidating it. Now it's just like, oh, I can do what I want. You know, my boss. I do what I want. Oh, yeah. Although I will say, emotionally, it feels good to have completion on this project, even though it wasn't what I was expecting. I was kind of hoping I'd get a decent printer out of it. Not like I need it. Got enough. I have 6. Correct number is n+1. But yeah, so money-wise, of what I spent, the new control board, the steppers, um, right under $50. But then when it came into time, yeah, it just wasn't worth it. Just wasn't worth it. 80%. Right about an hour on the stream. So exciting. I really want to peel that label off, but then I have to clean the residue. So I'd rather just leave it. 85. Haven't run out of filament, but we're close. So close. Oh, we're starting to do some top layers. Shaking my camera like a $2 stripper. Oh no, my network is really taking the crap. Tis what it is. Looks like we're going to be doing some test streams all to ourselves this week. All right, we have a solid top layer that looks pretty good, I have to say. Now, I also know this SPLA was really nice. Who was this? No name. Just SPLA. '96. And we're done. It did it. It did a complete print. Although I don't like that it goes backwards because that's just silly. I gotta reach behind the printer. Came off easy enough. Let's check out the quality. First off, let's get new calipers. Zero them out. Y'all can see it. Ooh, a little under. So we definitely got a little bit of tuning that would need to happen in this thing to do dimensionally accurate parts. A little under there, a little over there. Right. Yeah, Y is a little over. Yep, so it's the Z-axis a little short. Little short. Also could have had it a little close. Well, there we have it. What does it say? Confirm. Done printing. I kind of wish it'd do a little like, yay! Little guy dances. Something. Let's turn things off. Little tip for you guys who've got calipers that love to kick on. Do your screw, and then they won't move, and they'll stay off. Because as soon as you set them down, it's not locked. They turn back on. You come back to use them, and they're dead. All right. So there we have it. It prints. It's a 3D printer. Was it worth it? No. Would I recommend anybody trying to do this? No. I guess the takeaway from this is of any of these kind of projects, if someone's like, hey, I got a free printer, you want it? Do some research. Not really to see other people's complaints or issues. I mean, that too as well. Go to look to see how old the firmware is. See if the manufacturer is still supporting it. See if the manufacturer is still around. If they're not, obviously don't go that route. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. The older you get, the more you learn this. It just would have been better to just bought a whole new control board and screen, swapped them out all together, and recompiled the firmware once. Because if I'd had a different screen, if I'd gotten the newer control board with the newer screen, I most likely would have had a different graphics library that was needed for the screen, and I would not have run into this issue of not being able to compile with a filament sensor in it. Figure. There you have it. The Fokoos fooked me. Y'all have a good one.